Welcome back to Livie'S Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel, and I'm your host, Fam the Fabulous. For more ideas, inspiration, swaps, and challenges, click the link in the description below to join our craft community, The Maker Exchange, on Facebook. Welcome back, all my artists, creatives, crafters, and makers. Welcome back to the Lovely Lab. So, it's Saturday morning. Not quite sure when I'll have this video posted, but I figured I'd turn on the camera so that I could chat with you guys while I, one, wait for Josh to wake up so I can get him some breakfast, and two, on Saturday mornings, our church does what they call Saturday morning walk through the Bible, and walking through the Bible, dissecting each chapter verse by verse, and so that's at 9 o'clock. So I'm up early and I don't have time to actually create, but I got about 15-20 minutes before I need to go into the kitchen, grab some breakfast, and get that ready for him before I dive in. So I figured I'd turn the camera on while I spend this time coloring in my coloring book, and then also share with you, while I chat away, some of the things that I am thinking about in terms of the channel or just project wise, and so on and so forth. So today I am coloring in the Me and My coloring book for mom and daughter. I purchased this book a while back from online from Amazon. I think I saw an image of this on Instagram and I loved it, and I wanted to use this time to use the coloring book just as a paying tribute to my daughter. So I have already gotten into it. I've done several pages, and I'll show you the ones that I've done thus far. The thing that I like about it most is that it has a side for the daughter to color on if she's facing this way, and then the mother to color on this way. So I've done this page, and oh, by the way, I am sipping on Tazo classic chai tea, but I put a splash of Starbucks caramel something macchiato in here. I think that's what it is in here. So excuse me while I sip away. One moment. Oh, that's delicious. So that's one of the pages that I did, and I'm not into shading, like I don't do the coloring for that. I do all the detail work in my crafting. And I know that there's artists that have all of the markers and all of the ones that blend and things like that, the Copics, and I don't have those. I just use whatever I have. So these are the markers that I had picked up from Burlington Coat Factory. You saw that in that video, and they're watercolor brush markers, and they work really well. I really like them. So I did this page too. This one was a little tricky because there was a lot of detail. I've also done this page here, and yeah, I spent quite a bit of time on that one. The mom and daughter in the grocery store. And I love how they have the head wrap, the ethnicity of it all, which that's kind of why I was drawn to it, because there wasn't a lot of coloring books with little black girls when I was growing up. So I'm just happy to have something that's reflective of the culture. And then mom and daughter at the movie theater. Now I had to use fine liners for the hair detail. I don't know if you can see that there. You see that? Just to get the braids realistic, I think that's all that I've done in here. So today I'm just gonna pick out one that I want to do next. I think I had already picked one out, and on some of them it bled through, but it's perfectly fine. So, all right. So now, what is coming up next? Let me start there. Mother's Day this year wasn't difficult for me. It was one of the years where it wasn't, I didn't feel the punch in the gut from not having my daughter. or my mother. I really was able to enjoy and reflect on just being a mother. But one thing it did highlight to me, this is a possible page. One thing that stood out to me was that although I have recovered from the depths of the grief that I've experienced, I know that there has to be other women out there who, are still struggling with it. Other mothers out there, and I'm sure that there's other women that struggle with grief in general. But my experience that I needed true healing from was the death of my daughter, not necessarily the death of my mother, because I was very young, and the resiliency of children, because I was 14, completely overshadows that of adults. You bounce back. One, because we have no idea what to expect, so we kind of just go with the flow. I think I might go with this page. But with that being said, I think the Lord is leading me to step back into the grief recovery arena and kind of provide some type of encouragement for women who are struggling with grief. Just something small that I can manage that will help, let them know that they're not alone. So I think what I'm going to do is reach out to a local Grief Share chapter. Grief Share is an organization that is faith-based, and it's a grief support group. And I think it is 13 weeks, if I'm correct, of 13 sessions where you get together and you kind of provide, the leaders provide tools to kind of help you manage the grief. And obviously, like I said before, it's faith-based, so it is coupled with biblical truths and pointing them back to Christ for answers and for comfort. That being said, I like this one too, but this detail is a bit much right there. So a few years back, along with my son's godmother, co-led a Grief Share support group for about 3.5 years. And we're going to go with this one. And I while I enjoyed it, it was challenging because, it required me to, one, reflect on, basically stay in touch with where I had recovered from, so while I didn't have to dive back into those painful moments, it did require me to reflect back on how I felt, how I was feeling, and then also couple that with what helped me move forward from mourning to joy. Mourning, MOURNING. So my thought is to reach out to the local Grief Share chapter, a couple of them, and find out if there are mothers who have lost children, whether it's moms who have lost adult children or moms who are recovering from miscarriages and so on and so forth. But I think that's part of my purpose here on earth, and part of the purpose of my loss is to provide encouragement for those who are struggling with it and need a little help and need a little encouragement. So that is something that I would like to do. And once I finalize that, and in the meantime, I am going to solicit the help of the crafting community to create cards for those women, and so that we can get them, they'll be sent here to me, and then I will group them according to how, the number of women at each group, and get those in the hands of the group leaders so that they can put them in the hands of the mothers, or mail them out, either which way. But I want to make sure that every month I'm able to, or every other month, however we can do it, reach out and just let them know that they're not alone, and just provide a little words of encouragement. Nothing too in depth, just a hello, thinking of you, or the sentiments that we usually use. So That's where I'm at right now. It won't be a whole lot of that here on the channel. You might see me making cards for it, but aside from that, I will do majority of that interaction in my Facebook group. So if that's something that you're interested in, there's a link below to the Maker Exchange. Head over there, join. Click join, answer the 3 little questions. It isn't, personal information. And let's get started. And also, once you join, let me know that that's why you're there, so that I can start gathering and assembling a crew, because it's nothing like creating for a purpose. So now that I've got that out the way, let me say this. So today, after I get finished with the walk through this morning through the Bible, and we do that via Zoom, by the way, Josh and I are going to head over to the park where we'll be celebrating a friend's birthday. It's Josh's godmother's fiance's birthday. I think it's sometime this weekend, might even be today. So we plan to get together out at the park, a small group, and I'm like really looking forward to. Now, one thing I don't look forward to, which is why I kind of like shy away from agreeing to go anywhere or do anything, is the whole getting dressed. Like, I stay in sweats, I can't be by myself when I say that. I stay in some sweats. Let me see. Or leggings, I should say, not sweats, because God knows I'm in Georgia. That ain't gonna work. And but I actually am looking forward to just getting out the house, being outside, letting Josh ride his bike without me having a trail behind him. Not that I mind, because we hit the trail here. We have what we call the green belt here, and so I take him out there, and then sometimes hubby takes him down the street. On our street, at the end of our street, is the park that we're going to. It's a park. It has an RV park in it, and it also has a little beach. So, and it has a trail around one of the 2 lakes that's there. People fish there. My husband usually takes his reel, take Josh down there to go ride around the lake, and while I do something else like craft. But today James is working, so he won't be joining us, poor baby. And I decided to color this morning because this is the only thing that I will start and don't have a problem not finishing in one sitting, and don't have to do a whole lot of cleanup behind. And I hear Josh is up, so I hear his little TV in the background. But yeah, but also I needed a minute to get with you guys and chat and let you know what's going on over here. Now, also what's coming up, I really want to get started on, let me make sure I'm in focus. I want to get started on, there's a couple of projects that I want to do. There is a journal kit that I have downloaded from Sonia Stover. Her channel is here on YouTube. Her shop is called Multimedia Digital Crafts on Etsy. And so I purchased a few of her kits, and I need to go ahead and make a few, use her pages to create this next journal that I have in mind. We're also working on a project, a collaborative project. They haven't said anything about it. And when I say we, it's Sonia, myself, and Alicia from Where Baking and Crafting Meet. So you hear those ladies' names mentioned on the channel. We've done collabs before. I think we did the Shades of Love collab. Both of those ladies participated in that. And I think that there was another one a little bit before that. I can't remember what it was offhand, especially when I'm trying to concentrate on staying in the lines over here. And so we did a couple of collabs. I just had to have him turn that TV down. He wakes up. Between him and hubby, I really want to get their hearing checked. But yeah, so those ladies we've already done a collab, but we're working on another project right now. So stay tuned for that. You'll probably see something within the next month. Well, you will see something within the next month, because I think that they're pretty much done with theirs. They might be tweaking it tweaking their portion of it, and then I just got started on mine last week. I've been having issues with my computer, which is why you haven't seen many uploads in the last couple weeks. I think I'm gonna have to replace it because I can't, my Chrome and browsers keep crashing between Internet Explorer, which I do not use, but I had to in order to delete the Chrome and reinstall it, uninstall it, and then reinstall it. And it's still, I'm having issues with the CPU usage. But aside from all that tech talk over there, so stay tuned for the collab between me and those ladies. And so there's the collab. And I think how I got to that part of the conversation was I was talking about the digitals that I wanted to use that Sonia had created, in working on the next journal. And so I'll be working on that. And then there's a project that I need to do, and it's a remake of one of my highest watched videos. And it didn't go viral, but it is one that constantly gets watched, and I have no idea why, because the lighting is poor. It's probably in like 720, it's not HD, but it's the sunglass case that I made out of a pot holder from Dollar Tree. And so let me see, I probably do this in blue, and let me make sure I'm not bleeding here. I'm not. Okay, let me find adequate blue for the pants, one of their pants. Let me see if this will work. Oh, that's a little too light, a little too turquoisey. This one might do it. Yeah, that'll work. So, and I'm left-handed, y'all, so forgive me, I gotta do all this fixing and turning and what have you. But so what was I talking about? Lord have mercy. Oh yeah, so the sunglass case. So I plan to redo that one because someone asked if I would do it again. Or actually, I've got a couple of requests over the last, I'm going to say 4 or 5 months, to ask if I was interested in doing it again. And not because, I don't think that they were asking because the last video was poor. I think they just were asking because the other one is so old, and I was using materials that were common at that time. And I'm going to do it again using materials that I have on hand that are similar. I'm just going to do, it's just going to have a little bit more of a current feel to it. The video will. So anyways, yeah, so that's one that's coming up, another project that's coming up. And let me see, I've been pushing out quite a bit of those keepsake bracelets. You saw in the last video the boxes that I altered to accommodate the bracelets that I'm sending out. I've already sent them out. And one of the recipients of the bracelets that I sent out reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in providing some type of a keepsake for Women's Ministry Retreat. So I got to get the details on that, and then find the supplies, find the project, because budget drives direction. So I got to first find out what the budget is, and then I can determine what type of keepsake I could create for the ladies. So I'm excited about that, and I'm hoping that if you have any ideas in mind, feel free to drop those in the comments below. I'm thinking they probably will have a budget of maybe $10 per person. So if you know of a project that's between supply wise, that's between $5 and $7, because I have no intentions of trying to make a major profit off of it, just not even for my time, because it's something that I enjoy doing. I probably should, just in business wise, but I probably will just make sure that the cost of the materials are covered and a couple extra dollars for myself. But that being said, if you know of any ideas, feel free to drop them. I'm thinking in terms of maybe one of those gem pens, the pens with those beads on them, and finding some beads that are symbolic of the place where they're having their retreat at the location, because the location it's unique. It's in upstate New York, near the St. Lawrence River. So I do know of the location, and I was actually invited. I just will not be able to fly during that weekend because it's it's right smack dab in the middle of both Josh and James's birthdays. So we plan on celebrating with a little trip, both of their birthdays, and I'm quite sure it's going to fall on the weekend that the retreat is planned. But nevertheless, I'm looking forward to creating for that, just to get my hands back, get my mind wrapped around another type of creative process outside of paper crafting and jewelry making. So we'll see how that goes. And again, I welcome any suggestions. And so that's that. School is out. Let me go on and move on and say that. School is out. And I am ecstatic about that, because now it frees me up to do some things around this house that I have been putting off, between trying to get my real estate photo orders out, trying to stay abreast of education, real estate education classes, and making sure that I'm ready when it's time for me to hit the market, because it takes a little bit to get back in the swing of things. When this pandemic hit, it kind of shifted the way we do things here in real estate. So a lot of things are being done virtually. And although the ordinances are lifting, the real estate companies are still trying to take precautions to ensure that everyone feels safe. So there's that on that. And then we're also looking forward to our family vacation. Now, unfortunately, my niece sent her invitation to her baby shower for a weekend that we'll be away on our family vacation. So unfortunately, I will be missing that, but I definitely will be happy to send her a sweet little gift. No, it won't be a little gift, because I'm her TT, so it's gonna have to be something substantial, something fabulous from her fabulous aunt. Plus, I would rather reserve that COVID flight for when the baby is actually here. That sounds so horrible. But I'm not afraid of flying. That's never been an issue for me, but I'm really not trying to be closed up with a whole bunch of people. And I don't know where they stand in terms of vaccines and so on and so forth, especially here in Georgia. They have a different mindset here on, following policy and protocol and all of that politicized things that have become politicized here. I ain't gonna talk too much on it at all. I'm just gonna leave that there, because I'm sure many of you understand what I'm talking about. But I have to take necessary precautions, because I am a caretaker of my father, and he has a heart condition. But on top of that, so do I. So yeah, so that's that. And then recently, hubby expressed some interest in finding a vintage RV, a camper, and redoing it. Which I'm like, was he reading my diary? I don't even got a diary, but if I had one, that's what would be in it. Because it is a dream of mine to have a little camper, something big enough to accommodate 5 or 6 people, and redo it with a vintage theme. He don't know that my thoughts are to go vintage in the inside, with like little cherries and that pale minty teal color, from like the 60s. But that's my thoughts. Y'all hear my stomach grumbling? Yeah, that's my stomach, because all I have on it is the tea. All I have on it is the tea. Now let's move on to. Oh, you know what? I didn't even color that. Why y'all didn't tell me that? See, this is y'all. We got to work together, folks. Don't leave me out here. Do not leave me out here. And I'm looking forward to, and I hope this is the same. See, it's not, is it? Yeah, it is. I'm looking forward to getting myself inside the barbershop, or not the barbershop. I need a haircut. Let me just say that. I need a haircut. I don't think that's the same color. Is it this one that I used? It is. It's okay. I'll shade that out one way or the other. Yeah. I cut my own hair. You don't want to know how I did that. You do not want to know how I did it. I probably cut about 4 inches off, but the length is too much. I know for some people that sounds crazy, but I don't have any use for all of that. I don't have any use for all of that length. My hair is usually in a ponytail, and the longer it is, the less I can do with it. So when I take it out of the ponytail, calling myself going somewhere, looking like somebody, when it's long, I don't have a lot of options, and it doesn't hold any curls, especially because I don't have my family members who have done my hair for over 20 years back home. Yeah, I became dependent upon that. So I kind of have to do my own hair, and I ain't got time to be fussing with that stuff. And I ain't gonna spend time fussing with it because it's not that serious to me. Once I pull it out of the ponytail and try and make it look like something, if I get too much of a struggle, back in the ponytail it goes. So I'm looking forward to getting in there and getting an actual real haircut. When Josh was small, and when we first moved here to the city that we're in, my husband got a job as a maintenance manager at an apartment complex, so we stayed on site. Josh was about 6 weeks old. By the time he was 9 months old, he was looking like he wanted to start walking, and I was like, we can't be in this place because there's no place for him to walk. It was a 2-bedroom apartment. It was really nice. It was cute, but we needed more space because he was going to either hurt himself or I was going to hurt myself trying to keep him from hurting himself. So we moved to a different area. But when we were living in that, we moved into a full house. But when we were in that area, there was a tech school, trade school over there. And I used to get my hair done over there by the students on like Thursday or Friday nights. And it was like $12, $10 for a haircut, $15 for color. Now you know those prices. You're not about to pay that at a salon. So I was grateful. To just not have to do my hair. And then at the time, because I didn't have any family nearby, I was happy to get out the house and sit somewhere without having a nurse or clean the house. So that little place, they probably could have cut all my hair off and I wouldn't have cared, just as long as I had a place to go back to when I to relax for a minute. Because let me tell you, Josh, at that time, he didn't sleep longer than 15 minutes because of the adenoids and the tonsils. They were too enlarged. So it created like a sleep apnea issue where he'd be up every 15 minutes. And so that is what I dealt with when he was smaller. He got the surgery at 2.5 years old. And it took about 2 years for him to get into a different sleep pattern. And by the age of 5, it was the first night that he slept fully through the night. The age of 5, I say. Okay? So when y'all see mothers that are delirious in the grocery store, or the kids are acting up, not that Josh acted up or anything like that, and they ain't saying nothing because they look like they zoned out, it's a possibility that those kids, that their mom ain't getting enough rest. So have some grace, okay? Extend grace and pray for sis, okay? So now, let me see. I think, let me see what time it is. It's 8:44. We've been on here for 30 minutes, guys. 13 minutes. Now, I know that I didn't accomplish much on here, but I did accomplish much by the way of chatting and update you guys on what I'm up to, where we're headed, what we gonna be doing. And if you are interested again in joining me on providing some encouragement to women who are moms who are struggling with grief, please find the link below to the Maker Exchange. If you're not already a member, head over there, join, and drop a comment letting me know that you are interested in I don't even know what I want to call that. I'll figure out what we're going to call it. But for now, the card, the card collab, okay? The card collab for now. So I am going to wrap this session up. I want to thank you for joining me this morning. And I think I'm going to go in there and find something for Josh to eat while I have about 15 minutes. That chai is amazing. Find something for Josh to eat before I log into Zoom. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. I hope you're having an amazing day. And if not, listen, it's as amazing as you want it to be. Look outside of your window. Look at all of God's creations. Look at the trees, the grass, and remember how intricate of a design you are. How your heart beats and pumps blood through your body. How your brain tells all of the organs to do what it does. How if one thing is lacking, the other thing picks back up. The fact that we can bring forth life into this world and that we've been brought here by another life. These are the things that are amazing, that whether we have money, whether we are broke, whether we have a place to stay, whether we're sleeping on somebody's couch, these are the things that are amazing and deserve credit each and every day. We can be thankful for them. We can be grateful for them. We can sit in awe of them if we choose to. So remember, stay encouraged, stay blessed, stay creative and crafting. And I hope to see you guys soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to join the crafty community and be sure to click the bell for notifications of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Now stay tuned for more from Livie'S Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. Bye for now.